Good morning and welcome back to the Lake District. We're finally back in Britain after our 6 months trek in Europe, Albania, Bosnia, Montenegro, which are in the previous videos if you care to check them out. We appreciate every like and subscribe. But what we're going to do now is going to spend a little bit of time in Britain exploring the Lake District and make the most of this before the winter starts coming in. We're going to take a couple of Wainwrights off today, and that is Grange Fell and Great Crag. So these Wainwrights we're doing are our 42nd and our 43rd of our second round of Wainwrights. We've did it previously. It took us years and years to do just because of logistics of being a long way away from like home, the Lake District, having to travel 3-4 hours and only getting weekends and the occasional week. Now we've given up work and we're sort of travelling basically full time. We're hoping to get all these ticked off within possibly maybe a year, 18 months, something like that as a ballpark figure. Thank you very much. Today's route is about 5.5–6 miles, as long as we stick to the path. We're currently having a bit of issue using the GPS on the phone, the OS. The signal here is pretty much non-existent, but we're just meeting the joining path now to take us up to Grange Fell, also known as Brun Crag, which is the Brunfell, sorry, which is the actual Wainwright summit. As you can see, it's a easy enough path to follow, just straight down. I think we take a left at this point. So we have come through the gate. I believe this is the right trail. Last time we did this walk many years ago, we do remember it being very difficult to sort of navigate, a lot of boggy paths, as you can just see now. It's proving my point. Bogs and more like trails and like little footmarks through. We think we'll go around this corner, which is just around the bend there, and then it should open up. It's just off this little minor path to take you over to this stile, which takes you over into the fen area. This is the bit we struggled with last time because it was so difficult to kind of navigate the path. As you can see, there's a lot of fen still quite high there. As Lee is just sort of showing now, this path is very sort of faint between the fens. It continues up like that behind us. The fells you'll see at this side of me, linked from Catbells at Derwentwater, up over Maiden Moor, High Spy, up to Robinson and Hinesgarth. That is part of a circular walk we've done previously. The summit of Brunfell is only going to be about another 10 minutes away. We're just coming between two little hills now. We'll peel off to the right and then we'll be at Brunfell, which will be the first Wainwright of this day. You see Lee is just coming up now. We've been to the summit, which is Brunfell, but we are actually now on the summit of Grange Fell because I've had conflicting things about which one's the actual Wainwright summit. So I figure we'll just do them both, and then that way we've definitely done it. It's actually been quite a steep hike so far, but the views are really opening up now. It's just behind us there. You may just see Derwentwater coming into view. Over there is the Skiddaw Range. You've got Catbells just over that area, and then into the Coaldale Horseshoe area over there. In the very distance, you may even see Bassenthwaite Lake. That's Wainwright number 1 ticked, so now it's going to Wainwright number 2, which is going to be Great Crag. We're going to go to now, just picking up the little trail, which is just to the left hand side of us. One of the main reasons we've come up to the Lake District this weekend, specifically the Keswick area, is because we've got a friend and their new partner are coming up. They're coming camping tomorrow. We're going to do them a favour, all being well. They've given us their tent and we're going to pitch their tent for them tomorrow afternoon, so that when they arrive a bit later in the day, that's already ready. So that could probably be just, we can imagine how that's going to go if me and Leah have got anything to do with it. All being well, it'll be okay, but it is due to be quite windy tomorrow and Saturday. The wind's just started picking up a little now. Not too bad, but this is a sign of things to come. So it's been a few years since we've pitched the tent. Since we've had the van, we've never camped. So we're going to do a hike on Saturday, and then we're going to go into the centre of Keswick and go for a few beers, just to have a catch up with our friends and stuff, and then they're going to head back to Hull on Monday, and we're going to carry on in the lakes for the next week or so. What's the matter, Leah?
Look, I ain't got the waterproof socks on.
She hasn't got waterproof socks on, and the path's become a little bit boggy, hasn't it? Leah? Have you got anything to say for this video? Because you've barely been in it.
No, not really. He doesn't have talking for the both of us, lad, don't shut up, does he?
Woman of many words. It's because she thinks she's got fat when we've been in
Have,
Europe.
to be honest, that is the main reason why I don't like being in it. I've had to dig out this jacket, which is still tight. Can't fit in my trousers. You know when you get fat and unfit, it's just one of them when... But actually going uphill, I'm feeling it so much. Like, I'm carrying more weight than I've ever felt. And my chest, my knees and everything.
Yeah.
Like pizza and that.
Alright, they don't want your life story.
Fuck off. Do you know? He weird him. He asked me to talk. I talk and tells me to shush.
I've also invested in a couple of new microphones, and she refuses to wear them, so if her sound's not very good, that explains why. Yeah, it's got a bit boggy actually. Been walking for a good 3/4 of a mile now, just in this valley. We're not far off the summit of Great Crag, just going up a bit of a steep sort of pitched path now, which you might just sort of get an idea. But probably another 1/4 of a mile, maybe a little less, and then we'll be at the summit. That is Great Crag summit, just coming into view. You may see a little cairn on top. The views around this valley are really, really spectacular though. So each Wainwright summit you tick generally has some little indentation or little mark. Little sort of big cairn, some will have trig points, but a lot of them, the smaller ones especially, just have a few rocks there just stacked up to mount the summit. This one's a fairly big one considering, but that's it basically. We do all this hiking to touch that and then go and do it all again. So it's a strange hobby, but it gets us out in these beautiful places, so I can't really sort of complain, to be honest. There's worse hobbies you could be doing. As we're kind of approaching the end of this walk now, Dock Tarn is just coming into view. The path's got a lot boggier now because we're in a bit of a bowl. That's obviously why the tarn's there, but it looks quite nice, to be honest. The wind's picked up, as you can probably hear. Dock Tarn just coming into view now. See, this area around here is quite boggy. All this is boggy, so we're trying to stick to the rocks as much as we can now. There's very much a reason why we don't put a tent up. It took 35-40 minutes to do, and it's been an absolute nightmare. It's not our tent, we're not used to it. But as you can see, that's our tent we've just put up. Looks like a tent, it's still up in the wind, so all being well, it'll be a peaceful night's sleep for our mates tonight. If anything, it's about time for a well-deserved drink. The tent's actually looking quite good behind me there, so we've done it, but 35 minutes. I can remember now why we bought a camper van. So there we go, that's our tent all up. How did that go then, Lee?
My bun's gone all flapping. It's harder. We used to be absolute pros at putting tents up. It looks well wonky actually.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, does it, to be honest?
So Kerry, I do apologise.
I've not actually mentioned where we're staying. It's Castlerig Farm campsite, just outside of Keswick, about a 20-minute walk from Keswick. Fantastic views. This bit we're in now is the camping area. Over there is Cat Bells, and we can just see Derwentwater through the gap. We've stayed here quite a few times. Fantastic little site. Currently out of season, it's £28 a night, including electricity. Shower facilities and everything are fantastic. Everything you need on here. Views are fantastic. This is the little camper van area where we're staying, which is a little van at the end there. You can see great views of Skiddaw. Latrig over there is Blencathra. This is the other part of the field. This is the normal camper van without electric hookup. I think you can only really use these after a period of dry weather because it gets chained up, but just like the simplicity of what we've been able to do now is that is it, and we are back in the van. It's nice and simple, straightforward. We've even invested in some new seats and a little step there so little short legs can get in.
I know, because I'm out.
And she's hurt her back, she fell over yesterday and hurt her knee and stuff, so we're in the van. Have we not opened it? No. There we are, home sweet home. We've just lit a fire now. Castlerig, we've got the wood earlier when we went out to the shop. You see the campsite behind us, we've got little firebug Leah there, the arsonist, setting a little fire. Anyone would have thought it's a man's job, but you'll do it, don't you? Yeah, I've got to say, I know I moan a little bit at her with all the lights, but it does look quite cute, doesn't it, when it's like this. With a van there, our little fire. Nice little thing. Our friends are running a little late, so we just started the fire without them. Oh, being by the fire, eh? Cheers. Good morning and welcome to Derwentwater. Today we're going to Cathedral Caves, which is like a little cave system, an old quarry area in the Langdale area. Little Langdale, I believe. So we're going to go there, explore. There's like a long tunnel you can go down to get into the thick of it. So we're going to head there. But yeah, straight away you can see how busy it is. This is a Monday. Surprisingly busy for like early October. Lovely little river behind us. Beautiful little galloways, aren't they? Really nice little sheep. Very nice little cows. As you can probably tell by how we're dressed, it's absolutely pissing down. It was due to stop about 11 o'clock, but it's just carrying on. So we're just going to take it and just go for the walk. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's brightening up. So we're just going to walk, take our time, enjoy the weather. Because what more can you do? We're British after all. Just got to deal with this sort of stuff. Leah's over there, they're all prepared. Be about an hour maybe to get to the quick cathedral quarry. Probably have a little explore around in there and just sort of see what's what, and then hopefully by that point the weather might just improve a little. Probably not, but we can wish. There's a lot of really low cloud at the moment, as you can possibly see just on that valley there, and that's why we kind of decided to do a low level route today. We was going to do a couple of Wainwrights, but thought if there's no views we aren't going to really enjoy it as much, so we're going to save that for another day, probably later in the week.
Lost in your eyes, under your spell. Oh, it's like we've always known it. Even though it's new, I can already tell. Oh, that this feels.
What do we think about the Met Office's weather forecast, Leah?
It's very accurate, but Danny doesn't listen to me when I said that it's due to stop raining at 1 o'clock.
Must admit that one the answer expected.
No, because we've listened to 3 weather forecasts, listened to a different one. I knew even from looking at last night and even this morning that the weather was due to finish at about 1, 2 o'clock. So I thought we'll have a chilled out morning, do some bits and bobs. No, we'll head out.
Bear with me. It's got what, rain on the lens.
We'll head out at 11. Look at what happens at 11. We become soaking.
So this is Slater's Bridge. This is a really oldie worldy pack horse bridge. I think it's from the 1700s. I'll put some info on there, but I'm certain I've seen somewhere that it was what the shepherds and the farmers used to use to get the cattle, the sheep over the bridge into the fields they needed them in. I mean, it's a lovely area and ordinarily it's fantastic views, but the weather's kind of put paid to that a little today. Well, the rain finally seems to have stopped. We've just peeled off this little trail on the path, which just up the road from Slater's Bridge, and this is heading towards Little Langdale Quarries. This is where the main sort of cave system area is. It's not too far off the path actually. It's a bit difficult to find because there's a few areas before this which peel off, and you see people up there who aren't going to quite get to where they want to be. But yeah, we're not too far at all now, so hopefully we can have a good explore here. So we've just found the first entrance to this quarry. This is the smaller of the two. I'm led to believe that this second quarry here takes you into like its own little area. You go in there, there's like its own little ecosystem with trees, ferns, everything like that. And a lot of the local adventure companies do actually do the abseiling in this area because it's such steep-sided cliffs. Well, last time I was here, we did see that, so hopefully there might be some today. I wouldn't have thought so, but we'll go have a little explore in there as well. You see, just walking through here, It is quite slippy underfoot, so I'm just being careful. But these big quarry sides you see here, that's where they do all the abseiling from the local adventure companies. There is another area up there, which I believe is where the second tunnel, or longer tunnel, leads you out. It's probably a bit too wet to climb up there, so we're going to try and find it from the other way. But we're still going to try and get in there and have a little explore. Without actually coming to here yourself and seeing it, you won't appreciate the scale of how big this is. I mean, that column there must be 30, probably 40 metres tall, and it's supporting this roof here. Fantastic little place. If you've got kids, it's a perfect little place to come and explore. Not too dangerous, relatively easy to find. I'd highly recommend it. Leaving the first tunnel now, and then we're going to go to the second one, which is the big one where you need your torch, because it is a hell of a size and it's pitch black. Well, cursed it again. Said about the weather looking like it was going to improve. No, it's coming back in. There's another front coming in. Getting wet again, but it's been a good adventure so far. Really enjoying it. Hopefully we'll find this second tunnel quite easily, and then we can have an explore in there, and then we're going to go make our way back towards Derwentwater. Just coming back from a wild goose chase up this hill. I thought it may have been up there. I went one direction, Leah's gone the other. And I've just heard a little shout in the trees saying I found it, so Leah's found the entrance to it. I was quite close to it, but it is quite difficult because it's not marked. I don't know if that's to do with it being like a bit of a danger, or the fact it's just not part of a public like footpath as such. It's a bit tricky, but yeah, it's just down this sort of area where Leah's going now. They may just see a bit of spoil over there. That's where the entrance of it is. So we'll get the torch and get prepared. Yeah, we're just coming into the second opening now. If I recall, along with the cave one at Rydal, this is probably the most ignored warning sign in the Lake District. So basically it's just a safety briefing just saying it's a disused quarry and mine, unprotected drops throughout the site. Basically danger, which we love on this channel. With the help of my beautiful assistant here, she's going to get the torch out the bag and we're going to head into that big dark tunnel.
Nice.
Right, here we go then, let's explore. It's not a very high ceiling. We'll get a bit further in and we'll turn the light off just to see how dark it can get. So at this point you don't really want an earthquake. I think it's a good couple of 100 metres here to where it brings you out in the actual quarry area which we saw earlier. Now we're deep in the tunnel. If we just stop a second, we'll just see how dark it actually gets. Yeah, that's pitch black.
That don't make me feel good.
Actually pitch black. Lights at the end of the tunnel. There is other paths going off. I think they've been blocked off for the majority of them. We just look to the left. That one goes, yeah, that one's been blocked off. Oh. So this is the other end, the opening of the tunnel. There's kids and that in there abseiling, so we won't bother.
We're quite a few school trips there, don't we?
Yeah. So yeah, it's quite waterlogged. But yeah, it's definitely a good sort of place to be. Well, this is the second tunnel. Just make sure there's no deep holes in the floor like around the puddles. I don't think there is, but we'll see. I'd imagine there'll be some sort of drop or some sort of quarry in here. It's looking like a little mini cathedral quarries with its little stanchion. Yeah, it's a big cave system actually. This is like the unexplored bit. So now we're going to take the tunnel back out, about the 200 metres we've came out. Yeah, Leah's in charge of directions, which way we're going.
That way and to the right.
To the right, yeah, that's correct. Because anyone who watches this knows Leah's not great with directions.
I am good with directions. It's just...
Not good with the light for the camera either, are you?
No.
We're about to start heading off now back towards the van. We're leaving the Langdale quarry area now. This is a slightly drier Slater's Bridge than it was earlier. For the time being it seems to have held up the weather. A bit dark over there, but we might actually be able to sort of get a few photos and that of that now because it was too wet earlier. David Twattenborough.
You weird. He wouldn't have memories if he wasn't from it.
No, true. Ow! I didn't go to plan. Seems to have acquired a pet. Just come to this little sort of tuck shop here, which basically say homemade cake, £2, hot drinks for £1. Help yourself. See, these are all over the Lake District. Great little ideas. See what's available. Lemon drizzle, flapjack, carrot cake, Bakewell tart, coffee and walnut, apple and cinnamon. And you have your hot drink. You have your hot drink stand there, and generally there's free range eggs, which are obviously being sold out. Get a lemon drizzle cake, and that looks a bit hard. I'm gonna go with some flapjack, I think. No, I'm gonna go with carrot cake with frosting. There we go. There we are. Lovely. Chickens around. I'm not quite sure the name of this farm where this like little tuck stop and cake stall is, but I'll put it in. But this is some of the best lemon drizzle cake I have ever had. £2 a slice, but it's all going to like a good cause. If they had have had some eggs, I would have got some eggs as well. Leah, what's your opinion on this lemon drizzle cake?
Oh, it's bloody amazing. Phil Lang at work, his wife Carol used to make an amazing lemon drizzle cake, but yeah, it's
Moorish.
This is amazing.
Oh, that is real nice.
Yeah, love it.
Lovely.
It's not doing out for my diet.
Nah, bollocks to the diet. So we're leaving the Derwentwater car park now, heading back towards our park up for the night, which we're not quite sure where yet. Just going to head somewhere near Grasmere tonight, I think, try and find a park up around there. Not quite sure what we're going to do in morning yet, so that's kind of, at least around that part, we can kind of be in the centre for most places. If we want to go to Keswick, we can. If we want to go to Langdales or Coniston, we can. We've got multiple options. Tell you something though, some of these roads, like especially leaving like Derwentwater to Ambleside, get very, very narrow and very windy. Not too bad at the moment when it's normal traffic, but then every now and again you'll get like a bus or a haulage or a tractor or something like that driving past you, and that is like squeaky bum time at that point. Making our way to Ambleside, about 10 minutes or so away, something like that. Get through Ambleside, get to Grasmere, and then we're going to get parked up. It's been a good day today, to be honest. We've been to Cathedral Caves. There's a bus like we was talking about a minute ago. So yeah, that's, you can see my you might just see the bus at the side of me actually. Concentrated face, right on cue.